of your health. SMS living to 45861 to find out more. The Chronic Life Plan, life cover for those who can't get it.
Welcome back. Now, the SA Canegrowers Association has taken its challenge of the sugar tax to the chairperson of Parliament's Standing Committee on Finance. National Treasury introduced the tax in 2018 to discourage excessive consumption of sugar. Now, this in a bid to prevent diseases such as obesity, diabetes, as well as high blood pressure. But the struggling sugar industry says there's no evidence whatsoever that the tax has had a positive impact on obesity levels in the country. It further says that 1 million livelihoods are actually at stake as the industry continues to take knocks from all sides. So for more on this now, we're joined by SA Canegrowers CEO Andrew Russell this morning. Andrew, a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for your time. Now, obviously ahead of Minister Godongwana's budget speech on Wednesday, there's a lot of expectation from him. But for yourself, as the SA Canegrowers, I mean, what's your call to, I suppose, both the Minister as well as Parliament?
Well, we're asking the Minister to recognise the fragile state of the South African sugar industry as a consequence of a series of adverse circumstances starting in 2016-17 with a severe drought and massive imports of sugar. Things have just spiraled since then. We're engaged with the Minister of DTI and the Minister of Agriculture through the Sugarcane Value Chain Master Plan to restore the sugar industry to a vibrant and a diverse future. But that's taking time. And in the meanwhile, we're struggling under the burden of this Health Promotion Levy that, as you said, has we've asked for evidence that it's having any positive effect, and none has been forthcoming. We do know that it's having a devastating impact on our industry. 16,000 jobs were lost when it was implemented. It shaved 2 billion rand off our revenues, and now they're proposing an increase, which we have asked for the reasoning behind, and the information hasn't been forthcoming. So we have written to the Standing Committee to ask them to intervene. And we're appealing to the Minister Godongwana to please relieve us of this Health Promotion Levy until we can restore the industry to a stable footing and move forward. Yeah. And we hold ourselves available to engage in more constructive interventions towards improving the health of our nation, and not at the expense of our industry and the jobs and the livelihoods that it maintains.
I mean, you've described the sugar tax as both destructive and unsubstantiated, hence the assistance that you're appealing for here from Parliament. Dating back to 2018, you've often said, we want the proof, we want the evidence, fact-based, evidence-based, scientific-based evidence that there was some sort of impact from this particular health promotion levy. But Andrew, I mean, should your calls not be heeded, should they not be heard, and this expected increase commences from the Minister come this Wednesday, what's the anticipation in terms of the further destruction that this will cause, rather, to the industry?
Well, if it's increased, there'll be another. We've done some modelling, independent modelling, conducted or commissioned by the South African Sugar Association with independent companies, and it indicates that a further 6,000 jobs will be at risk, and as well as 3,000 of our small-scale growers, who are an important foundational element of our industry, their operations would be extremely vulnerable, and they would likely go out of business. So the impact has been huge, and any increase would just exacerbate that.
And obviously, add, stage 6 indefinitely onto the mix. It's not a good look in terms of the loss here that the industry will incur. Do you have an estimated cost, a number, perhaps, that you can share with us? And this is estimated. It could really be well above that number. But in terms of the estimated loss, how's that also looking like?
Well, I think you're referring to load shedding and the impact that that's having on our irrigated growers. They need a steady supply and a reliable supply of electricity in order to irrigate their crops. They haven't had that this summer, and that situation appears to be getting worse rather than better. We have done some work that indicates that up to 700 million rand will be lost by those irrigating growers in 2023, and that assumes load shedding at levels 4 to 5. If that goes beyond that and we're moving towards stage 6, it could go up to 1.8 billion rand that they will lose as a consequence of lost growth because they haven't been able to irrigate their crops properly.
Yeah, and just before I let you go, then what would be the ideal intervention? What would be the ideal budget speech from Finance Minister Godongwana?
Well, the ideal situation would be that he recognizes the hardship and the adversity being faced by the industry, the importance of the million livelihoods that it sustains in the deep rural areas of KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga. And ideally, he will drop the Health Promotion Levy until such time as we can establish other uses for our sugar canes, such as renewable energy, and other products that are in the pipeline, but take time to establish and to bring into our sugarcane value chain. So ideally, yes, we would like him to suspend the Health Promotion Levy.
All right, we'll leave it then. I appreciate you speaking to me about this. SA Canegrowers CEO Andrew Russell, thank you so much for your time this morning. All right, let's come to this, though. The 12 African cheetahs